guys, I'm Kenzie.
I'm Darren.
And welcome back to our channel. We just finished packing because we are heading to Florida for my best friend and Darren's brother's wedding. And then also we are heading to Disney World for the first time for me, and Darren, it'll be his second time.
Yeah, the next 2 weeks are going to be so much fun. Like she said, my brother is marrying her best friend. And then after that wedding, we are heading straight to Disney World, where we're going to spend 5 days there, going through all the parks, riding all the rides, eating all the food.
So tonight we take off to the airport around 12 a.m. and we are heading straight to Seattle, and from there we'll have a 2-hour layover. But it's going to be 12-hour travel time, so I'm not ready for it, but we're trying to get everything in the house ready for us to leave.
Today we're hoping before we leave for the airport that we can finish off this 4-part series. If you've been enjoying this 4-part series, we just encourage you to subscribe because we're going to be putting out a lot more content, and we're really excited to get this channel going. So make sure if you've been enjoying this 4-part series that you hit that subscribe button. But today, let's dive into our marriage and wedding.
The week before our wedding, we had all of our friends come to an Airbnb with us. We all decided, let's just get a place where we can all spend time together, because we had moved away and we'd been living here for 2 years. It was super hard for us to go visit friends or our friends to come visit us, and so we're like, let's just all get a place together, and it was so worth it.
Yeah, we had about 12 or 15 friends in one Airbnb, and it was a massive house, had a pool in the backyard. In a perfect spot, and so we just had a lot of great memories that week before the wedding.
One of my favorite memories at the Airbnb with our friends before the wedding was when there was a roach, and it was like midnight, other people were sleeping, and then they just heard screaming, and then they were trying to find the roach and kill the roach. One thing about Darren and I is we do not like killing roaches.
Yeah, you're not really truly in Hawaii if you don't come across a roach, and so that was kind of their welcoming to Hawaii. Probably the most memorable moment from our Airbnb experience with our friends was there was this one afternoon where we were all hanging out at the pool, and my brother decided that he was going to jump off the second floor balcony into the pool. What happened was he ended up slipping when he jumped and almost hurt himself, but he made it into the pool. But I just remember, we have the video, so we're going to show you guys.
I just remember from that moment, it was just so silly. All of us were just having fun, vibing with music, and all of a sudden we just see Brendan like freaking dive into the pool, and as he's diving, the fence line of where he was like kind of like broke. Like it snapped. So in the video you'll hear that snap, but it was definitely such a funny moment. I know that Brendan had a lot of fun doing that because he needed to get his guy energy out.
3, 2, 1.
Another really funny memory was when this bird got stuck into our house.
Yeah, the bird just flew into the house. We didn't know really what to do. It kept running flying into the window, trying to get out. We were trying to push it outside the house. Another moment from that week was actually the night of my bachelor party. I just remember we spent the day just hanging out at the house at the pool, and then later that night we went just to like a tap house just to kind of have a chill night at that tap house. I just remember having a little bit of everything. Like, I don't drink a lot. I only really drink on special occasions, and it's only like a glass or two of whatever I'm drinking. But for this night, for some reason, like I think just throughout the day, I just had a little bit of everything. I had some wine, I had some whiskey, I had some beer. I just had a mixture of all these different types of alcohols. And later that night when I was going to sleep, I just remember waking up in the middle of the night and going to the bathroom so nauseous. And I stood at the toilet for like maybe 20 minutes while everybody was sleeping, just with that feeling that I was going to throw up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. And I was so confused because I didn't drink a lot. It was like I only drank a little bit. And so I remember not throwing up, going back to bed, waking up, and we woke up super early because we had arranged a surprise for Kenzie. We were going back to our engagement spot, and I was going to read her a note, and we are just going to have this sweet moment kind of back to where that engagement season all started, because we were just about to get married and that engagement season was coming to an end. And so we arranged for her to go, meet us there. And I just remember the drive to that engagement spot was so bad because I was still so nauseous and I had a throbbing headache, and we stopped at Safeway to grab some Pedialyte, try to recover myself. And then I ended up showing to the rehearsal at the venue with that Pedialyte, and I just remember everybody was giving me such a hard time because my friends, my family, they all know I'm not a heavy drinker. I don't drink really at all, and they were just laughing at me because it was so unusual for something like that to happen.
Yeah, I saw Darren show up with the Pedialyte, and I was like, dang, I didn't realize how much he had drank because I didn't see him that night at all because we had got home late, and so I remember seeing him that morning when he surprised me, and he was saying he was not feeling too great.
I remember we were at the engagement spot. I just remember looking at her like, I don't feel good at all. And I told her, like, I didn't drink a lot. Yeah, thankfully I did recover before the wedding, but that day before the wedding, I was going through it. I was really going through it. But haven't got hungover since then. Again, it was very unintentional for that to happen. Just want to say that again.
My favorite memory from the trip is when I had asked my best friend Katie and our friend Manny to lead worship for us as a group, and I thought that was probably the most intentional nights we had as a group together. I remember we had like about a couple songs of worship and just very spontaneous time of prayer over Darren and I. All of our friends had written messages for us, scriptures, just very lovely notes, and encouraging notes for us, for our marriage, and just for us also individually. And now we have those and are able to look back at them. So I think that was just a very intentional thing that they decided to do. For me, worship is just everything, and I really love getting to be able to be in unity with other people in worship and just to meet Jesus and encounter him. And so that was my favorite night.
So during that worship night, I mean, it just reminded us of how important friends are, especially friends who are like-minded, because that worship night was very special because our friends were just praying over us. They're making sure we felt celebrated, making sure we felt loved, and something that I think both of us we really valued that night, especially because it was the night before our wedding, and so I think it brought us a lot of peace, a lot of comfort, and was a great way to propel us into our wedding day.
We're just so thankful for how they showed us how deeply they cared for us and just wanted to celebrate us that night. So I'm just so thankful to all of you who were there. You know who you are, and we love you so much.
So our wedding day in itself was just the best day ever, and I think most people generally feel that way about their wedding, but for us it was a year of just working to make sure that this day could happen, working really hard. Like we said in our other video, we were working 2 different jobs, each of us, and going to school on top of it. So there was a lot of hard work that got put into that wedding day, as well as a lot of hard work that our family and friends were doing to make sure this day could happen. We're going to do a completely separate video of our wedding day because we had an amazing videographer who captured the whole day. And so we're going to launch that right after this video goes up. So everybody can watch our whole wedding day.
So the morning of the wedding, we woke up super early. All of us girls went to my parents' house to get ready. The makeup artist and hair artist were there to meet us. My mom and family had made like this whole breakfast set up, so we got super spoiled. I didn't eat much because I was so nervous all morning. I was just like, I just couldn't eat. I really tried. They're like, you need to eat. I think for me, my goal was just drinking a lot of water and eating as much as I could, but the nerves are definitely making me not able to eat.
Yeah.
And then I had my first look with my dad, which is like one of my favorite moments ever. He cried super hard. I cried. I just remember feeling super nervous before walking down the aisle. But then my dad prayed over me, and then as I walked down the aisle to the ceremony, the Lord just gave me so much joy, and I knew this is the right time, this is the right man, and that God was just going to bless our wedding day and make it perfect, but also our marriage.
For me, the day of the wedding, I ended up waking up early, and we headed to our apartment, and we just kind of spent the morning keeping it chill, not doing too much. I had a haircut to go to, and I remember going to that haircut. I was telling my barber, hey, it's my wedding day, so just make sure you give me something really good. And he gave me a free haircut. It was super cool of him to do that. And so that was really highlight of my morning. And then after that, we got some breakfast. Same thing as her. Like, I remember getting the breakfast, trying to eat it. Like, I was force feeding myself at this point because I just couldn't get it down. My stomach was turning all day. Just not nerves. Like a lot of people say like they were nervous on their wedding day. For me, it was just so much excitement was just boiling over me. And during that wedding day, it was a very slow morning. I just remember waiting around a lot, just trying to wait for the day to start. And we got to the venue and things started to get a little bit more real. We kind of had this kind of just little house to hang out in while we were waiting for the girls to get ready and the ceremony to officially start. And I just remember hanging there with the boys and the family, taking some pictures. And things really started to get real. During the ceremony, one of my favorite things about our venue is that it just has this amazing staircase, very romantic. As you're looking at it, it just overlooks the mountains as well. And we didn't do a first look. We actually did a first prayer, which was another cool moment at our wedding. And so we just had a chance to just pray together before we walked down the aisle. When the ceremony started, the first time I saw Kenzie was walking down this staircase, and my goodness, she looked so good in her wedding dress. I just remember watching her walk down that stairwell, and our officiant just kind of looks at me because he can see the emotion on my face, and he just goes, soak it all in. This is just an amazing moment. Cherish it. And man, I just had so much emotion coming over me during that moment. It was beautiful. So the ceremony went very well. Again, we didn't have a very big wedding. We only had about 45 people at our wedding, and that's family and really close friends. And I loved the fact that we had a small wedding. It allowed us to spend a lot of intentional time with everybody at the wedding. And we got to spend a lot of time with our guests. After officially being announced husband and wife, it was just a surreal moment walking down the aisle with her. And I just remember having so much joy. And as we finished walking down the aisle, all our friends came around us and just started celebrating us, started hyping us up.
The reception was definitely one of my favorite parts of the wedding because it takes away from the stress of like, oh, we have to like walk down the aisle and then do all like exchange our vows. And so it's definitely more peaceful. So I remember during the reception, we had our first dance. We had my dad and his dad give speeches, my best friend, and then Darren's best man give speech. We had my best friends come up, say a few words, and then pray over us as a couple. And so we definitely are so thankful for everyone's kind words and wise wisdom to give us on our wedding day.
That was the moment at the reception where I kind of sat in my chair and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really happening, because like you said, we got the hard part done. Our vows were said, our pictures were taken. Now we could truly just kind of relax and enjoy the night. And where did we go on for our honeymoon?
We went to Disneyland for
Where
our
else would we go,
honeymoon.
right? She's such a big Disney fan, and so we knew exactly where we wanted to go. I had never been to Disneyland prior to our honeymoon, and so it was kind of like a no-brainer for us. She wanted to go really bad. We were supposed to go early on in our relationship, but COVID happened, so that trip got canceled.
When we were talking about honeymoon places, we knew it would either be like Disneyland, or we were thinking we could island hop to another island, and we were kind of contemplating both and trying to figure out which one to go to. I know for a while we were thinking we'd go to like Maui and then Disneyland, but I think it would have just been too much after that full week, so we decided just to go to Disneyland. First thing that Darren wanted to do was go to Chipotle.
Yeah, which we did.
Chipotle is Darren's favorite restaurant. He's all about Chipotle. It's his favorite thing. His Chipotle is my Disneyland.
There
and
you go.
So it was just the perfect trip because I knew he had never been, and he got to experience all of my favorite rides, and he just had such a great time. So.
Yeah. Hopefully, Disneyland hears about this and sponsors us to go on a trip. That'd be amazing.
That would be perfect. But the weather, I will say, was freezing. Darren and I went to Disney, I think, for 3 days, and it was cold.
It was so cold the whole entire time. I was not ready for
insane.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely it was nice because our first day there, the sun had come out, and so it felt okay, but for a couple of nights, it was really cold.
What was your favorite ride with me during our honeymoon?
My favorite ride, I have two. Can I say both?
Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite one was Space Mountain because Darren the whole time was like, "Whoa, whoa, ah!"
I had never
like
been
screaming.
I had never been on a roller coaster in the dark, and that's what Space Mountain is, and it just blew me away.
Yeah.
And it was going so fast. I just couldn't believe it.
My second favorite, what we had talked about the whole time, was Star Wars Rise of the Resistance because me and him both love Star Wars. And it was both of our first times experiencing it. And so it was just such a fun experience. If you know, the ride is just, even while you're waiting in line, it's an experience, the whole queue. So it's just It was so much fun.
Yeah, as a Star Wars fan, like that ride does a great job at bringing Star Wars to life. Like I just couldn't believe what they did with that ride. Year one of marriage for us, we describe it as like our year of transition. I mean, Kenzie was transitioning from living with her parents to now being on her own. For myself, like I was transitioning from being in school, working 2 jobs, to like starting to transition to actually being a teacher and working in the classroom and having this career. And so it was definitely a year of transition and adjustment. And so I think with that, like for us individually, we're trying to do that on our own and then also together. Being married, now living together on our own, there was a lot of things that we were running into and just trying to get used to. Marriage has really been a blessing, and we have learned a lot in the 2 years that we've been married together. I know it's only been a short time, like 2 years is not that long, but I mean, I feel like since we got married, I've grown so much as an individual. I've grown as a husband, and learning so much about myself in that time. And like one of the biggest realizations for me is like, we're on our own now. I mean, we have family who's supporting us and loving us, but like we get to make decisions that affect not only like us in the present, but us in the future, and realizing like we have the power to kind of create the life we want. And that's something that we've been kind of having a lot of conversation around, and just wanting to make sure that we are building something we are truly proud of.
Darren really challenges me in a lot of different areas. He is a man that just loves growth, and it's always challenging those that he loves to grow and not to settle. And so something that Darren's taught me is to always believe in myself, and to just take on new risks, new adventures, and to just flow with it and like have grace for yourself, but also just to like know that you can do something that might be hard or in your head you think it's impossible. So I'm just so super thankful for Darren for teaching that quality and instilling that quality in me also, and to bring that into our marriage and not have us settle, but to really take on risks and believe in things that we are dreaming about.
Yeah, it's important because we've realized how to respond to one another and treat each other when we're having those off days. And yeah, I think it's just important to like for us to note out, like as we're doing this YouTube channel, that our marriage isn't perfect, and we're not trying to hide that or trying to portray that we have a perfect marriage. But we are doing everything in our power to just make sure that we do have a strong relationship, so it is easier to go through those off days. If you want to see more content around our wedding and marriage, or if there's questions or things that we didn't get to that you want to know about, please put that down in the comments. But this is going to officially conclude our story series, so we really hope that you guys got to know us a little better through this series.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, because we have a lot of videos coming your guys' way. We have our wedding video coming up. We're gonna have some Disney vlogs out for you, and then just also our time in Florida. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell down below. Bye,
Bye, friends.